What's up, Firestarters? My name is Mirthy, and this is MirthyMoney, where we delve into the world of finance, investing, real estate, credit cards, and the financial mindset needed to reach FIRE. This episode is going to be on how skipping college got me ahead in life. And it seems counteractive, but that's why I'm going to explain to you how I see it. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in. And I'm going to do a little storytelling about my experience during my senior year of high school. I have a theory about something. As I was leaving school, I wasn't getting much help in terms of moving forward into my next educational adventure. Most of my peers were getting ushered to SAT prep classes and SAT exams and college visits and applications and scholarship apps and all the normal senior stuff. But I was not. So I'm going to walk through each step I ended up taking to give you all a different perspective, one that not many people that I knew ended up taking. So here we go. First, we're going to start out talking about SATs and college. So the first thing I'll mention is that I was interested in the arts, illustration, and music. These two things I believed at the time you didn't need degrees to be good in or successful in. And I still think that's kind of right. You know, if you have the drive, business mindset, and the will to pursue them and some skill, you're good. But that being said, I wasn't really interested in taking the SATs because those were for getting into colleges, which I felt were going to be a waste of time and money for me. So that meant I didn't do any SAT prep and I didn't go to take the SATs. My parents let me take the reins in college decisions, and at the time I felt adrift with no direction. I didn't even know how or where to apply for scholarships, and I ended up just using FAFSA and going to community college because that was the next step that everyone was doing, you know what I mean? And that was the cheapest, smartest financial way that I could think of to move forward without having a clear plan. So I got a grant for my first semester at community college, so it was free, right? And I went to community college near my house and studied fine arts, which turns out is learning a bunch of crap that I was already good at, and so I ended up giving little effort in. You know, I was working too and ended up burning myself out, and I dropped out 4 weeks in. You know, I wasn't trying to fucking draw fruit and shit. I had some weeks where I would wear my work clothes to class. Then when they finished, I would drive to work. Then I would come home dead tired, then wake up still wearing my work clothes, and repeat this process until I realized I wasn't living my life. I was like a zombie, dude. And I was in some kind of torture device where I wasted my time sitting in class, learning and absorbing nothing, and working a job that barely earned anything worthwhile. A grand total of $30 per shift, and I was sacrificing my health and happiness. The value wasn't worth it. So there I was, academic probation, but no more college unless I paid out of pocket and brought my grades up. On the bright side, no debts, no student loans, no more misery. So I wasn't broken. I was free. I told my parents, and they told me to take time to figure out what my next step would be. In the meantime, I focused on the valuable things in my life. If you also think school is for suckers, then smash the like button. So the next step was just working for a little while. I changed jobs to a better paying job that was also easier. And at the time, though I studied on my own, I had plenty of time to attempt passions. I first tried, I wanted to see how hard was it to just make a living on my own as a freelance artist. But I decided that I didn't want to open galleries, and I didn't want to make what other people wanted me to make in exchange for money. So I discovered that I like making art, but the business side of it kind of ruined it for me. So I became content with doing art for myself, alone, and not pursuing it as a career. I then turned to music, singing, and songwriting. That was the year that I wrote over 30 songs in my bedroom, recorded them, and put them online. I realized then that I could live in peace forever just doing that. It was my escape, but I was also failing to get that running as a career. Mark it up to laziness, shyness, anxiety, whatever. So I made some realizations about myself, and that was good. on the other hand, I was lost again, monetarily at least, So I worked for the next couple of years, paying rent, paying bills, living on my own, and eventually having a child to care for, which drastically opened my eyes in a way that kids coming out of high school would never get. I had learned to fail and fail often, and that not moving forward also felt like failing, and that I needed a why. I needed a drive. Making art and music was free and easy, and I did it. Goal accomplished. I didn't need to be famous, I didn't need to have a drive to do them professionally because I was doing them already, and that fulfilled me enough. But when I had my daughter, the need for money and security was present. So the next step in my life was financial education. So I started going into overdrive all over again with the new drive, accruing financial literacy wherever I could. While all of my old classmates were learning high-level algebra and calculus for their physical therapist degrees, which made no fucking sense, I was learning about the world of money and business, and my first eye-opener was from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you watch anything in the finance field, you've probably heard this book referenced because it's so simple, stupid, kids get it. That's why he wrote it that way so perfectly. It's just, here's one way and here's the other. It's just analogies and contrasting, and it's just so easy to understand. That's why it's so many people's first, eye-opener. So it really changed my perspective about everything like that. It was kind of like when you're a kid and you thought that your parents knew everything, and then one day something makes you realize that they're just humans who fuck up and make stupid decisions too. The veil was pierced. College isn't the only way. Lawyers and doctors aren't the only way. And you have to be creative to get ahead. I used to read Harry Potter. Then I started reading investing books. Then books on business, on real estate, on credit. I absorbed YouTube videos like a sponge. Other people were watching funny videos and Game of Thrones, while I got stuck going down a YouTube wormhole full of finance-related content. I was 22, with one kid, one girlfriend, one dog, renting a townhouse for $1,600 a month, waiting tables at a nearby Uno's restaurant, and I was drowning in the bills still at this point. But I was absorbing this financial content like crazy. I decided to take a jump. I joined the Army to see if I could build some character, some skills, determination, and the ability to grind through something until I had reached my goal. This proved to do two things. It gave me some sense of pride in my own strength and also a strong push factor, since I decided after about 1 year that the Army wasn't for me. People love to praise the military, but it's just like working a corporate job, except you have multiple managers to yell at you, and they can technically call you in at any time, any day, especially me since I'm a police officer. So, a 5-year contract was long enough for me. But I couldn't deny two things. My daughter was financially taken care of, and I never had to think about paying rent or worry about bills. This gave me a kind of mental freedom that many people don't have. So in exchange for my personal freedom of 5 years, I had no fear of where I would live. So I studied finance from my laptop while on duty and started making moves. Next step is putting it into action. In the 5-year period that followed, I went through many life changes. Separated from my ex-girlfriend, filed for custody of my daughter, got married to my first love, gained custody of my daughter, bought my first home, got a husky pup, and I had a brand new son. Life moved pretty fast for me. Most of my Army mates were renting, or in the barracks, but I had lucked out and got stationed in my hometown. I took that chance to buy my own home, and I had started investing while I was in basic training using the Robinhood app. I went from being 22 years old with one kid, renting a townhouse, waiting tables, and drowning in the bills and having a zero net worth, all the way to being 27 years old with 2 kids, a wife, a husky, my own house, 2 cars paid off, Army work for 2 more years at that time, and starting a voice acting career with plans for investment properties and around a $40,000 net worth from investing in my retirement accounts and the stock market. Have you ever seen someone go from $0 of net worth to $40,000 in a 5-year period. I think that's pretty good, at least in my opinion. I was just starting on my financial journey, but my goal is to retire my entire family within 10 years. So that would put me at, 2030? Yeah, that would be 2030. The year 2030, I hope to retire my entire family. I'd be retiring from the workforce, whatever you call it, at 37 years old. That's even faster than the military's 20-year plan and society's 65-year-old retirement plan. Without these struggles, I would have spent the next 4 to 8 years after high school building student loan debt, only to graduate and then learn that these lessons are here, and struggling to find a job in my late 20s and realize that I'm going to be in debt for many years and a house is probably out of the question. Forget kids and passions. I'd need to grind wherever I could to find money. But not anymore. My takeaway is that school is for suckers. Jobs are for slaves. Create your own career. Invest for your life, not for your retirement. 10 years of work to live free, or 60 years of work as a financial slave. Will you follow your own research and plan your own future? Or will you let others and society direct your life? A quote comes to mind. It says, "A man chooses, a slave obeys." Even though this is by Andrew Ryan from the game BioShock, the game is heavily influenced by political thoughts and way of life ideals stemming from Ayn Rand's objectivism. It's a serious and perhaps dark way of shining a spotlight on truly choosing how you want to live your life. But put some thought into that. Don't use a pre-made checklist for a successful life. Write your own based on the facts of what you really want and need in life for yourself. Alright guys, real quick before we go, I just want to mention that if you go into the description below, you can get 2 free stocks on WeBull if you sign up through the link and deposit $100 of your own money into your own investment account. Or you can get a free stock from Robinhood from signing up through the link. And there's some other cool stuff down there. Right now I got like my top 5 favorite books on rental property, getting into investments and thinking with a winning mindset and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check that out in the description below. That was how not having much assistance or input from outside resources as I left high school actually helped me get ahead. If you want more knowledge on any of these subjects, including FIRE, retirement, investing, real estate, credit cards, travel, budgeting, frugality, saving money, earning more money, financial tools and gadgets, then be sure to follow MirthyMoney.com. Check out the SoundCloud account that you're on right now, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Keep it up, Firestarters.